Today is March 17th, and we are officially 2 days away from spring equinox on Tuesday. And in today's video, we'll be talking about a major cool down coming this week and also a significant storm system setting up for late March, followed by your long-range pattern forecast going through the end of March and into early April. We'll dive into the details later on in today's weather forecast. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We keep up with this weather all the way throughout the year, so make sure you are subscribed to this channel and press the like button, the thumbs up button down below. It helps out more than you know. So let's look here at our surface map here today on your Sunday, March 17th, and our cold front, our reinforcing shot of cold air moving further south here with that cold front down near the Gulf Coast and into the eastern U.S. And what this is bringing is more precipitation across the south and the eastern United States here. We have some wet snowflakes in northern Maine, some snow back here into New Mexico and in the Four Corners region, and some heavy rainfall this morning down across Louisiana there and coastal Texas. As we go into the afternoon, rounds of showers and a few thunderstorms down near the Gulf Coast will continue to rumble their way from west to east across these areas. And then as we go into the evening hours, our atmosphere will start to stabilize. We'll start to get rid of those showers and storms with the coverage becoming more isolated going in towards tonight. Overall, we're not talking about a significant amount of rain or anything like that here. Just about a ½ inch to an inch or so of rain for us down here near the coast there of the Gulf. And up here across the eastern U.S., maybe some rainfall there. Very light amounts up there into the northeast. But looking here at the lake effect snow, yes, it's March. We're still seeing some lake effect snow, some marginally cold temperatures supporting that up near Lake Superior. Portions there, the eastern shorelines of Lake Michigan, and portions of the rest of the lakes there, and then up into southeastern Canada. Seeing some snowfall going in through Monday, and then the Four Corners region seeing some snowfall, especially into northern and central New Mexico going through your Monday time frame. But this cold front is going to be dropping down some very cold air for at least March standards as we go through the week. And you can see today a big dump of cold air from southern Canada diving down through the Mississippi Valley. The eastern U.S. waking up Monday morning tomorrow, the start of the work week, very cold out here across the eastern 2/3 of the country. That will move east toward the eastern seaboard. We'll see a reinforcing area of some warmer weather into the high plains as we go into Tuesday. Then a new surge of cold air from southern Canada into Wednesday time frame. That will dive down from Canada into the northern U.S. on Wednesday. That'll shift across portions of the Great Lakes and into the east on Thursday, and then we'll start to see again more return flow across the plains as we go into Friday time frame. So a bit of a temperature roller coaster going for the week here, and you can see the jet stream orientation early this week. We have that northwesterly flow aloft with that trough across portions of the eastern U.S. That keeps us more quiet, but also cooler across this region early this week. We continue the northwest flow pattern as we go into the middle of the week. You can see that jet stream diving down from Canada into the Great Lakes region and the northeast, and largely going into late week. It does look like Friday, though, we start to transition more to that zonal flow as we have more Pacific air moving from west to east across the contiguous United States. We'll continue to monitor that. Let's look at our precipitation through the week here. You can see pretty dry across the country for the most part on Monday, and the same thing can be said about Tuesday outside of some drizzle and showers across Arizona, New Mexico, or some lake effect snow showers, some lighter snow up here around the Great Lakes. Really nothing happening early this week. Wednesday, we see another clipper system moving down from Canada into portions there of Montana and the western Dakotas. That could bring us some lighter snow showers as we go into Wednesday with that marginally cold air coming down from Canada, and then that will scoot its way further east across the Dakotas into Minnesota, perhaps as far south as northern Iowa, getting some snow showers there on Thursday, especially at night. And then as we go into Friday here, we'll have another significant storm moving in across southwestern Canada and the Pacific Northwest during that time frame. Looking at the week as a whole, though, Monday the 18th of March through Friday the 22nd of March largely looks pretty dry across the country, especially the eastern 2/3 of the country. Pretty active across the west, especially the Pacific Northwest, seeing some decent rain and snow during during this period. And you can see that snowfall here, few and far between, but if we do get some, it could be an inch or two of accumulation, especially on those grassy surfaces from the Dakotas and Montana, back here into the upper Midwest and into the Great Lakes region. By far, the heaviest snow will be kept up there into portions of southwestern Canada, British Columbia, and southern Alberta through the week. Now, as we go in toward the weekend, this next weekend coming up here, Friday the 22nd through early the following week on Tuesday, March 26th, we still have that colder air in place from southern Canada and into the northern and northwestern United States. Warmer air from the south return flow across the southern plains, and the southern United States will set up a battleground here across the middle of the country, namely across the central plains into the midwestern regions, and you can see a very active weather pattern setting up during that time frame as we go into next weekend and early the following week. And this is likely the potential storm track with our next system, our significant surface cyclone, as we go into that Friday, March 22nd through Tuesday, March 26th time frame. You can see starting off into the eastern Four Corners region, this will be trekking its way through the central plains and on up into the upper Midwest. The cool side of the storm will be on the northwest side of the low. The warm side of the storm will be on the eastern or southeastern side of the low as we go into that time frame. Let's look at two model runs because there are some significant differences here in what we could see. So this is the European model, the ECMWF. You can see as we go into Saturday, very heavy snows up here on this model across the Pacific Northwest, a stripe of snow potentially across the upper Midwest, the warm side of the storm staying across portions of the central and southern plains. As we go into Sunday, the European model likes a blizzard, if not an ice storm, up across the northern high plains, across the Dakotas, into portions of northern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, and the UP of Michigan, and it likes the warm side of the storm to be up here into southern Minnesota, Wisconsin, on southward through Iowa, Missouri, down through Arkansas there into Texas. This could lead to heavy rainfall and some severe weather potential centered around that Sunday, March 24th time frame, according to this model. And then as we go into Monday, a new low pressure system will develop across the plain states and bringing heavy rain to places like Milwaukee, Chicago, and even up there into portions of the St. Louis region as we go into Monday. Looking at that model, this centers the heaviest of rain across portions of the Missouri Valley and the Mississippi Valley during that next week time frame, Saturday the 23rd through Monday the 25th, and it has the heaviest snowfall up here across the northern high plains and the northern Rockies, especially into Montana, the Dakotas, and northern Minnesota. And it also has an ice storm threat up across the upper Midwest, the eastern Dakotas, into Minnesota, into Wisconsin, and the UP of Michigan on the European forecast model. Now compare that to the GFS model, the American model. You can see it has more rain versus snow across the Pacific Northwest on Saturday. Colder air comes rushing in on the backside. We see a lot of heavy snow in the Rockies. A little bit further south of a storm track, pulling in a lot more colder air here on the GFS, and that makes that colder air turn that precipitation to snow further south into Iowa, into northern Illinois and Wisconsin on Sunday. The warm side of the storm a little further south as well, and it's a slower system as well. You can see a little bit more severe weather potential a day later on this model as it's a little bit slower of timing, but you can still see the general flavor here, the mid-south into the deep south concerning for severe weather, and then an ice storm, snowstorm threat on the northern side early the following week. The GFS model, still the same thing here, the Midwest down into the mid-Missouri Valley, the Mississippi Valley area there. It's a heavy rainfall during that time frame of the Saturday the 23rd through Monday the 25th. A very heavy snowfall shield across portions of South Dakota, Iowa, southern Minnesota, Wisconsin, northern Illinois, over to Michigan. I'm not really buying into the amounts on here, but just kind of looking at the placement. It's a little bit further south, and the GFS with it further south with the cold air. It has the ice storm threat a little further south as well into Nebraska, Iowa, northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, and lower Michigan during the 23rd through the 25th time frame. Long story short, here's the potential storm hazards that I came up with, kind of averaging those two out. More than likely, we are over 7 days out from this system. Those two weather models are going to be wrong, so we're going to likely meet up in the middle and show you what you likely will see. And you can see the heavy snowfall in the blue up here across portions of the Rockies into the northern high plains, especially the Dakotas there, perhaps into Nebraska, getting into Minnesota and northern Wisconsin. A mixture of precipitation, an icy mix across portions of the Colorado Rockies, around Denver, up there through Lincoln, Nebraska, maybe as far south as Des Moines, and up there towards portions of Green Bay and even the UP of Michigan during that time frame. In the green, you can expect some heavier rainfall on the warm side of the storm, and in the red, we could be looking at a severe weather or tornado outbreak with this system, potentially, if everything comes together as we do get later into next weekend and the following week. That will be favored across portions there of the mid-Mississippi Valley and the lower Mississippi Valley here, including places maybe as far north as central Illinois and into northern Missouri. So we'll keep an eye on that as we do get closer. Looking at the long-range forecast beyond the storm system, another dump of cold air will move down from Canada and into the western U.S. That will travel from west to east, so entering into the middle of the country as we round out March, and still a very active pattern will continue as we go through the end of March here. So after that significant storm moves through next weekend or early next week, more storm systems will be moving through behind that, so a very active end of March as we go through that time frame. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and supporting as I continue to keep you guys safe and updated on the weather throughout 2024. Make sure to give the video a like down below with the thumbs up button, and I hope everybody has a great rest of their day out there.